What is up, everybody? We will get started momentarily. I just realized I don't have my water. Oh, it's right over there. I'm gonna go get my water before we start. All right. Hello, Reets, Akil, MS, Bogdan. What's up, Titus? All right. Sam. How's it going, everybody? We shall get started soon. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see here. Check the channel here for a second. Today's just going to be your typical, your typical same old UI UX review. Nothing special, no twists today. We're doing it on Sunday though because my wife had the baby boy a few days ago, and of course, for those of you who don't know, she is a surrogate. So it's not my kid, it's not her kid. She's just kind of an oven. For a couple that lives in China, which unfortunately because of the lockdowns they cannot be here. So the baby was born. We have a guardian who is basically watching them until they can actually get here to be with their child. So we're gonna try to like fish the story to like Ellen DeGeneres or like those type of shows to like see if we can get them here quicker with their power and their help. Because it's a really cool story if you think about it. It's kind of like, it's crazy. All right. Let's see here. All right, JVS, are you helping today with the, we already got a super chat. All right, well, let me know. All right, so what we'll be doing today, for those, maybe you're new to the channel, basically what I do on these live streams is I review your designs. So if you have a UI, UX, you can even submit identity like logo designs and stuff like that. And I will review them and give you my opinions, and then we'll do a 1 through 10 rating, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I also have the chat help and give their ideas as well and their opinions in terms of like what your rating should be. And that's it. So basically, how do you submit? YouTube description. Click on the Discord link in the YouTube description of this video, and you will be thrust into this Discord app right here. This is Discord, and if you're new, you'll be in the rules section. And in order to unlock all these channels here, you have to click one of these React emoticons here. Like if you're a full stack developer, this is just to help combat spam, really. And then negative space submissions. This channel, that's where you submit your link. It could be, you can see there's a bunch of people who already submitted. Like a Figma a document, Adobe XD, it could be a live website URL, or it could just be like a JPEG of a mock-up or something, or a logo design or whatever. And I'll try to get to them when I can, but I'm gonna tell you right now, as they get more popular, there's so many here. I do this for 1 hour. I can't get to all of them, so I take them in the order they received, or if you really want me to do it, you can send a super chat in with some random amount of monetary contributions, and I will also, you have to make sure to mention your Discord username when you do that, and I will thrust you to the beginning of the queue, assuming no other super chats are in front of you. All right, so what did JVS say? Yeah, I do, JVS. That would make life a little bit easier. All right, awesome. So we're gonna get started. All right, so we have already a super chat, and I know this person because I've seen them before. All right, awesome. Thank you for the super chat. So let's go ahead and check out. Let me read real quick. This is a design for a washing machine and air conditioning repair service. Hey, interesting story about that. My dad, for the past 35 years, has actually sold and repaired used washers and dryers. Like, that's been his main thing. He's still doing it, even after a stroke. All right, so the client rejected this user interface. He said he wanted photos with a businessman and a website with the feeling of some new tech stuff, which has nothing in common with what he does, but probably he is not happy with this job. Okay. Hey, also, short aside with that, my dad, he's always said the new stuff, almost 90%, 95% of the new stuff when it comes to like appliances, like washers and dryers, will break on you very quickly. So he still repairs washers and dryers that are working in working condition after 35 years, like the 35-year-old machines, like as long as he's been doing it. All right, so anyhow. All right, so okay. A businessman, yeah, you're right. That doesn't make sense. Like if you're repairing somebody's website, or not website, if you're repairing somebody's appliance, you want to show that in action, right? So I agree with you. You shouldn't have a businessman. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but first of all, let's just take a look at the UI. Yeah, this is pretty solid overall from what I see. Again, with the form, of course, as I've been hammering into your heads ad nauseum, make sure you put using labels instead of just relying on placeholder values. But I like this overall. I mean, this is pretty solid. Maybe a tad bit heavy on the ad copy here, but not really. I mean, it's not bad. Good call to action. Logo goes up here. Yeah, I mean, it's simple enough and it's effective. I don't see any issues in terms of, you know, design specifics, fundamentals, that is. The white space, contrast, visual hierarchy, the type, all looks pretty solid. Fairly certain that's Montserrat. All right, this is pretty good. All right, so go ahead and give this a rating, people. 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. And in about 10 seconds, I'll give you my rating for this. In my opinion, this is at least a 7. Yeah, I'm going to give this one a... 1 second here, let me pull this down. 7.4. I think that's pretty solid. Yeah. Quite solid design. A good first design for us. Awesome. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see who's up next. Nobody has I think people, listen, if you're gonna send in a super chat, mention for sure your Discord username. Otherwise, we have no clue, you know, who to tie who. Oh, okay. Thanks a lot for the second super chat. Who was the second super chat? That was Peter. Hey, thanks a lot, man. All right, we have another one who did, okay, this person did not mention a Discord username, so maybe they will in a second. But this person did, Armage. So let me find where Armage is. Let me just do a search from user. All right, this is a website I made recently. It's Italian only. All right, let's check it out. All right, can you guys hear me well? I repositioned my mic. It seems like it might be a little bit far away. I'm not sure. All right. Okay, so we could translate this. Let's English. There we go. All right. Nice little scroll-based activated animations. Okay. All right. So my first impression of this design was there's a lot happening here in this area, in this general hero section, in this section right here. And that's based on 2 fronts. First, I would say the first front is there's not enough white space between these elements. So like this right here is its own section, this 1, 2, 3. look how much white space is beneath this section compared to the next container. But look how little is from this bottom of this image, for instance, and this. So push that down quite a bit. So what I'm talking about is, if I get in here, we could see we have this. We could do margin top. Uh, 14M units. That right there is a little bit better. I think there's maybe a little bit too much white space now, but you get what I mean. It was just too close to the top. And then the second issue, I would say, if we refresh to get back to the normal part, is, oh, this kind of fixed itself. I don't know what happened or why it changed, but now it's, okay, that's weird. Oh, well, either way. It's a little bit too colorful. You have your call to action being orange here, and at the same time you have this bold and orange. At the same time you have all these colors. So the important call to action buttons that you want people to take action upon and click kind of get lost because there's a lot of other vibrant colors around it. You got this over here, this over here. I think you just need to tone down the usage of your colors just a little bit. I would probably make this just bold but black, or the same color as this. Looks like a dark gray. And then that way your contact buttons and you know, your important call to action stick out more. Outside of that, if there's any way you can, I would probably redo this logo for sure. The symbolism, I think it just could be improved. It seems like, I don't know, it just seems strange with how the colors are kind of clashing into the various areas of this logo. And it also seems like it was perhaps hand drawn. It doesn't seem like it just looks like it was used with the hand drawn with like the pen tool without any refinement. So I would look into that if you're able to. You may not be responsible for the logo design though. Outside of that, everything else here is pretty solid. All right, so what do you guys think this purchase should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Me, let's say, I'm gonna say there's some good things happening here. I like this section. Nice white space around it, good colors, good type. For this, I'm gonna give it just a solid, just like a 7.0. Some people are rating it a little bit lower, it looks like, but there's some good things happening. I think it could be easily fixed. Peter and Borske, what's up? So I kind of live 2 lives, by the way. I have multiple interests, actually 3. I have guitars and music. I have design and code like this YouTube channel, but I'm also like really into politics or anti-politics. And this is a person who just donated one of my biggest super chats of $20 US dollars, who is a fellow libertarian / anarchist. I'm kind of a crazy person. If I told you my personal views, you would all freak out. But nonetheless, we'll try not to mix that because you know, YouTube might can my channel and all that. So anyhow, thank you very much, Peter. Let's go ahead and, no, Peter doesn't probably have a UI UX review for me. This is probably just him supporting me. Okay, let's continue on. Who is next? Super Chat 3. Hey, this is a UI for my new dev agency. What do you think of the colors and general UI? Okay. Also, if you could check out this. Okay, well, I'll try to do that quick. Usually these are just for one. Uh-oh. We got a file not found here. So that's not going to work. It says I don't have permission. So maybe you could come back once you fix that. All right. We're going to go on to Super Chat 4. Oh, I will check this one out, though. Yeah, well, let's see here. Let me get a new... All right, our website is currently undergoing scheduled maintenance. We should be back shortly. Dude, are you trolling me or something? Because how am I supposed to review this? It's just a coming soon page. I mean, it's simple enough, but then again, it is a coming soon page. There's not really much here that I can actually... by the way, you might want to spell coming right. It's just one M. One M. All right. But for a coming soon page, this works. But there's just not enough here for me to really look at. Okay, who's next? Let's see here. Already reviewed. Okay, Super Chat 5. Design for a charity. All right. Next up. Thank you for the Super Chat. Let's review this one. Let me get my YouTube dashboard out of the way. All right. The Jamie Simpson Trust. Okay. Local, blah, blah, blah. All right. All right. Somebody who finally got the forms, right? You got a label here. You're using placeholder values for the information. Most people know how to put a full name. Most people know how to put an email address. I would probably just leave those off. And then write some. I would just leave all 3 of those placeholder values off because they're unnecessary. All right, so looking at this, so it's a real simple layout, minimalistic, which is okay. I think there's a big disconnect though. Like right here, there's a big empty white space. What I would do is probably take this section right here, these 3 elements, push them into the left, give it some white space. Maybe it starts right here. Maybe push this in possibly. That way you can fill the gap, or you can expand this area just because there's a big open gap here. It's like a little bit too much white space in that context. Next up, it would be nice to perhaps have some way to separate your sections. So for instance, this here is its own section. It's a hero section as it's called. Then right here we have a project section. But it's real close up to here, so at least add more white space or add like maybe a subtle background color that defines this as a separate section. So you could do that in several ways, like a really light, almost white gray, or you can add color to it. It all depends on what way you can take it. Again, we're having an issue where your left column and your right column are really far apart, so it's breaking layout. You want to try to get those more finely tuned with each other in terms of alignment, position, and making them a little bit more cohesive. So for this, I would push this down because look how far this image over here goes down, and then also try to get them closer together. All right, so this section right here, this logo being so close to this little subtle background or drop shadow doesn't look good because there's not enough white space. So I would scale this down a lot, this logo right here. Outside of that, that's pretty good. Again, we have this issue with the separation of columns. But yeah, overall, not too bad. Very simple, but just small fixes will really help boost the score in the overall quality of this UI. So what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. For me, I'm going to give this rating probably like a 5.2 or so. Yeah, 5.2. It's simple, but there's just too much of a disconnect in so many areas, so everything's just like separated out, so there's not a real strongly defined layout and a flow to the design. Thank you for the super chat for sure though. Update from Super Chat 3. All right, here we go. This is the one where there was an issue with the permissions. Glad you fixed it, and I'm able to review it without taking your money. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Let's hit play. So somebody said, I think your huge resolution creates some layout issues. I've not been able to recreate them though. So yeah, I am on 4K resolution for the desktop here, but at the same time, it's important because 4K is becoming so common now So somebody might have like a maximized browser window. So you have to account for that in your CSS media queries. All right. Okay, so let's see here. One issue, which I'm not sure why it's cutting off this, it looks like a phone number perhaps, or I don't know what that is. All right, looks like this is all it is. There's nothing else I can click on here, although there's an about page. Looks like these are just like skeleton UIs. I like the flow here. I like the layout. I can't say anything too bad about this. But if I try to click on here, these aren't prototypes, it looks like. Oh, okay, I can see you can kind of like move this, which isn't ideal. Let's just zoom up here in this way and I can kind of look at it like that. All right, looking at this, again, because obviously it's not complete, what's really gonna help define this layout is gonna be whatever you choose as an illustration or an image right here. I would say that, somebody said it hurts their eyes. I would say that this gradient, that might be a tough sell because it is going from two completely different color values. So we have purple and then orange. So that's an extreme sort of gradient. So I would definitely look into fixing that for sure. Somebody else is here. I like the type here. We're using Montsura, as I can see. Read more, contact us, good call to action. Your buttons here, a little bit on the small side for these secondary social media icons or ways to contact you at least. Probably large in those just a bit. Probably take this section up here. I can't move them, but I move them over slightly away from the logo. The logo hopefully will be white, not black on purple. There's not enough contrast there. But other than that, this section looks pretty good here for what clients say about us. Nice illustrations, pretty decent. This looks like Pac-Man though. Is that Pac-Man? Yeah, so I might want to change that. Maybe just use circles. So other than that, pretty solid. I like how the layout's done here pretty much. Maybe a little bit too close in that area. So yeah. All right, guys. What do you guys think this person should get for their review? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to judge a website that's in development. But for what it is, for this one, I think I'm just gonna do, because you know it isn't complete yet, I'm just gonna give it like a 6.5. I think that's fair, because there is a lot of stuff happening right with it. All right. Oops, where are we at? There we go. Super Chat 6 made drastic changes after the scroll broke. Okay. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I remember. Oh yeah, there was some type of issue with this design because I reviewed it like last week, I think, and there was big issues with like the scrolling. Okay, good. They're not there anymore. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. All right, so taking a look at this design, you have some type of something strange is happening when you change the width of the browser. So like on mobile, for instance, you definitely want to fix this white space because on a phone that would take up a lot of space that you're unused. So definitely fix that. I would definitely take this whole section right here, your testimonials, push them down away from your hero section right here. All right, these are way too close, and so it's creating clutter. So if I get in there and I come and take, there's going to be a container here somewhere, right? Where are you at? There you go. And I do, actually I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. You definitely want to push this down though a lot further away. Right here, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different projects. These are really large. They're too large, at least on this resolution I'm at. You want to make, you can show at least 3 or 4 per row, and you can just basically condense it because these are too large and into my face in terms of these thumbnails. So I would scale this down big time at this on this media query, basically. All right, what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. It's definitely going to improve from the last rating. I don't know what I gave it last week for a rating, but it will improve because there was major issues that aren't current now, at least. For me, I'm going to give this one a I think like a 6.8, almost a 7 or so. Pretty solid. I know that's definitely improvement from what I did last time. Super Set Chat 7. Would love some feedback on my web design. All right. All right. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Okay, so I definitely know what I'm going to say first is wrong with this. There's a lot of stuff happening right with this one, but the thing that's popping out at me the most, I hate these damn cookie things. I hate government so much and those stupid mandates. But anyways, I won't get on that. But let's talk about what I think the major issue here is. I'm going to ask the chat first. What do you think the biggest issue here? Just looking at the overall picture of this design from a macro perspective, what's the biggest issue that this design faces? It's a design fundamental. All right, so several of you did get it right. White space. Yeah, I would say it's a lack of white space in the area. Some people said too much content. Yeah, too much content stuffed into a too short amount of space, but that's a white space issue, not a content issue necessarily. So what we have here up here is it gets real cluttered up here. So we have, you know, like a 2-row style navigation, which is fine. And this is fine in and of itself, but then we have a photograph that's stuck right up to the top of it with a border, a very light gray border separating. So get rid of this very light gray border between these elements. And then this section right here is actually pretty good on its own. It has a good amount of white space around it. But then look underneath here. This is pretty close, tough, stuck within these. We can see we have a light gray background and then a white background and then another light blue background, I meant to say. And there's not a lot of white space separating these, these areas out. So what you really need to do is separate them out vertically. So more white space on the top of this area, more white space at the bottom of this container, and so on and so forth. And I would also probably rethink about how you're going to do this photograph. It just looks like a stuck photograph that's right there. I think what we could do possibly in this whole section is have some sort of similar image, if not the same, where it's kind of like a watermark in the background of this container. And that way it doesn't look like it was just slapped on there. So there's a lot of ways you could do that. Just type in web design, photograph, watermark, or backgrounds or whatever. You'll probably get some ideas. Outside of that, everything here is pretty solid in terms of design. There's a lot of borders I do see though. There's like slight borders here. Probably just get rid of those borders. This section is all designed quite well. I don't have too much of a problem with these card-based feature sections. So overall, the takeaway from this design is just need more white space. Otherwise, it's pretty solid. So what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm going to give this one a... Yeah, I know what I'm going to give it. This one deserves a 7.2 in my opinion. But it looks like you guys, for the most part, agree. Because there's a lot happening right with it. I mean, I like the type. I like the colors. I just think maybe this is a little bit too much on the colors because we're going from blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. Way too checkered. So, again, simple fixes will definitely boost that. Okay, so those were all super chats. Let's go to our very first actual submission, which I don't know when that occurred. I know it was like way up here this morning. Right here. All right, so Killian. My name's Killian Smith. I'm a 14. Oh, we got a 14-year-old. You could be my kid. I'm that old. I'm 36. And I enjoy programming and design. And I am self-taught. I would really appreciate it if you looked at my submission and gave some feedback. All right, self-taught 14-year-old. Hope what you did doesn't kill my eyeballs, because I know that's the type of work I produced when I was around 14. Okay. All right. Okay, it could have been a lot worse. So we're going to also... Yeah, okay, so there's some things happening right here. Some things definitely need to be improved. Okay, so I like the logo. It's just your name, simple. You separated them out with good colors. I like that. Home, about, work, hire for the navigation of the menu. Just slightly spread those out a little bit further. I think they are, otherwise, this is all solid for the navigation in the menu bar. It's also responsive, so that's good. You don't want this massive amount of space here on the phone though, so you definitely want to adjust for that in your media queries. Now, the biggest issue when I looked at this is, all right, we have a headline here, but it feels like it's completely empty after that. This would benefit massively just by having either a subheadline underneath this or a short paragraph of maybe 2 to 3 sentences max that would come in the middle, and then your hire me button, your call to action, which is good. It really sticks out well. It's a good color. So you need something in the middle here and separate them out, because also we have this image right here that you've used, this illustration, and it's really long, but this is up here. So having a paragraph underneath will really help create a better flow between these two columns. People don't want to hire you right away though. So that shouldn't be your call to action, your primary call to action. Your primary call to action, as I discussed in last week's live stream, which is all about me being a potential client looking at your designs. They want to look at your work first. They want to see your portfolio. That's what they're most interested in, not hiring you. So hiring comes secondary. It's second to them liking your actual design. So fix that right here. So here's one thing. I did this myself. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel where if you go to my channel search and type in 1999 or something like that, you'll see my 1999 design portfolio. When I was in 1999, I was in 10th grade. Or 9th grade, I don't know, 10th grade. And basically, for some reason, all my portfolios, I always mention my age. The fact that I'm like 16 or 17 or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, as a potential client, that's gonna be a turnoff. People don't want to know your age. You shouldn't tell them your age, especially if you're younger, because people automatically, it's a logical fallacy. They automatically assume that because you're younger, you're going to be crap, you're going to be garbage, you're not going to be reliable. So in a lot of cases that's true, but here's the thing. Don't tell them your age because that's going to hurt your ability to get clients. Don't tell your age. So this right here, this image of this mountain or whatever, completely unnecessary. It doesn't have any relevance to your design and what you do. Try to think of something else that would go here that would be suitable. All right, so this is your work. Check it out, check it out, check it out. That's fine, And then another big issue down here is your form. Nobody wants to fill out all these form fields. Also, you need to use labels, not placeholder values, because this is a usability or user experience issue. Because if I start typing in, guess what? I forgot. I have memory issues. Maybe I came back to the computer and I'm like, wait, what is this field about? Guess what? I have to delete this just to see the name. So put a second actual label here at the top and greatly reduce the amount of fields. I'd say for somebody getting to start a project, just get their name, get their email, maybe I'm not even sure if I would put budget. Just get their name, email, and maybe a message. And they'll give you their phone number if they want to. All right, other than that, pretty solid. What do you guys think this person should get? 14-year-old, aspiring web developer, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. For me, I'm going to give this one a 6. Just a flat out 6.0. Very good work for a 14-year-old. Keep at it for sure. All right, we got a bunch more super chats here. This is my minimalist personal site. How long have we been going, by the way? 36 minutes. We'll be doing this for about 24-ish, 23-ish more minutes or so. All right, this is my minimalist personal site. There isn't much on it, and it's supposed to be pretty simple, focusing on layout and photography. So this is a photography website, I think. No, it's not. Okay, well, let's see what it looks like big here. All right, so at a big resolution like this, you have a huge empty area right here. So I would want to fix that. Or if you don't do that, if you don't want to do that, you could take this whole section, make it larger, fill out more of this area, and center it vertically. Let's see here. These are projects. Probably worth having like a headline right here where it says projects or recent projects or something like that. A little bit too crammed in with the date here, the name real close to it. Even and then this is pretty close. These 3 elements are kind of a little bit close, so maybe spread them out just a bit more, white space. View GitHub. So I think overall just a little bit more white space. Otherwise, the design's pretty good with these. Maybe put these like encased in little buttons, like pill-shaped buttons, perhaps. Because there's a lot of text. It's very text heavy. You got the date, your name, this description right here. So, oh, also I wouldn't really put your personal portfolio as an example of a portfolio project. I know you want to put more, but they're already on this page. They already see it. So it's redundant to put your personal portfolio as a project. And definitely don't put it the first one. Do one that's for a legitimate company or a legitimate client. I have no problem with minimalistic designs. As long as you nail all the UI design fundamentals, that's completely okay. So what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. See what it looks like at smaller. Probably want to have a menu, a hamburger icon menu, because it gets lost. It's not showing up here. For me, I think I know what I'm going to do. This one's going to be a 6.3, maybe. Looks like I'm rating higher than what some of you are saying. But I personally have no problem with very simplistic designs. So there's a lot right happening here, but there are also some issues for sure. Like if he fixed those issues and did nothing else, like that could be an 8 design, because simple doesn't mean bad. Okay. Super Chat 9. Here is my in development portfolio. Let's check it out. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Rep revision. Okay. Bundled software development and UI UX design. Software developer 5 years. UI. Okay. So let's view the work. All right. So the big issue with the way these cards are laid out is, one issue is this section right here where you have the Play Store in like I think that's the Play Store icon and the GitHub icon. Those are way too big. They're taking up way too much contrast. You know, those need to be secondary elements big time. So fix that. There's some alignment issues with some of these, like pond hockey. This starts up here, but then this one starts here, and it's also in this border, that little dark gray border. It's like 1 pixel. I would get rid of that. So I would definitely improve that section in how these cards are designed. About me, with having, there's probably supposed to be an image here. I would obviously put something there. Hopefully that's not your intention. It's a little strange not to have something here, because most people expect to see, you know, some sort of like logo or navigation. So I might think about doing that, because when it says view work, view resume, you're only giving them 2 choices from which they can, you know, which is fine for this section right here, but it might be nice to have another section up top for like a contact or hire me and stuff like that. All right, so what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Heading type is good. For this design, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.7, I think. Seems like most of you agree. All right, next up. All right, Rack Crate unmanaged hosting has filler text currently. Work in progress. Thanks for the super chat. All right. Let's see. Let me click on this to get that away. All right. So Rack Crate. Let's see. Rack Crate. Home hosting. All right. Pretty solid. I like this up here. One thing that unfortunately really will take away, I mean, this COVID-19 government support for businesses, if you deem that is the most important element that you want people to see, go ahead and leave it like that. You know, this real vibrant color that stands out more so than anything else. Otherwise, you know, because there's a lot of buttons, there's a lot of things happening here. I would definitely rethink that. You can make it like, you know, the same color as this nav bar perhaps, instead of this vibrant color right here, this red/orangish color. So introduction, this is obviously a label, it's not a button. At least I assume. So if it's supposed to be a label and not something you can click, definitely don't encase it in the same type of button container that Learn More is, because that also it affects 2 things: usability, because people think they can click it, maybe they can't. And then also visual hierarchy, because you're not really sure which one you should look at or click. Coming down, I do like this design so far here from what I see. Really good section right here. Really good section right here. Good white space, good type, good visual hierarchy, good cards. Yeah, this is all solid. I really like it. Up here is probably just the area that, you know, could be a little bit more improved. but this is all solid. What do you guys think this person should get for their rating, for their design? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. For me, I'm going to give this one probably a pretty high rating. Yeah, I'm going to give this one an 8. Yeah, and it seems like most of you agree. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Continuing on. We're at 45 minutes. We will do this for about 15 more minutes. This is a work in progress. All right, let's check this out. The video game journal, looks very old school and established with the calligraphy. By the way, I used to, when I was younger, a lot younger, like when I was 12, I learned calligraphy. It was really fun. All right, anyhow, all right, so this is strange because it says about advertised careers, ethics and sources. It almost seems like an afterthought. It almost looks like a small like Google AdSense banner, like a text banner. So I would probably, and also left align it to where it starts on this column instead of being inset like that. Outside of that, I'd say I like what you're trying to go for here. We have 3 different typefaces, but we have three different typefaces, but we also have a lot of different font scales being used here, font sizes. So we have a font size here that's different, a bold font here, and then one that's not, and then different size up here, and then 3 different. So what's happening is, I mean, you could pull this off, but I think we need to be a little bit more consistent in terms of sizing your fonts here. Trying to think how one would want to approach that, but it's almost there, but it's just slightly off. I think, yeah, like I said, try to be a little bit more consistent in terms of using the same sizes across some of these things, these areas. Like no more right here. Like I would use the same size for this and this, because you want to try to keep things as consistent and less variable as possible. All right. I like this overall. I do like this whole section here, though. All right. Sort of like a broken layout here, like a section. I like the 01 watermark. Pretty good here. Now, I'm not sure if I would gray this out because it almost looks like it's disabled, like a disabled button. That's usually, the convention that's used. I like this though. I definitely like this section. Yeah, this is all solid. Yeah, this is a lot better from what I'm seeing. Very good. Yeah, this is quite solid. Yeah, I like it a lot. What do you guys think this person should get? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. This is definitely above a 7 for me. By the way, no more super chats. Do not send in another super chat. For me, I'm going to give this a rating of 7.5, 7.6 or so. Maybe even a little bit higher than that. Yeah, I do like it. It's quite solid. Good colors. Type for the most part is good. Super chat 12. This will be the last super chat. Let me hit cancel. These are prototypes for a food delivery app. Please give some suggestions of what you think of it. Alrighty. Thanks for the super chat. I'm gonna go back here. Oh, this is Sketch. Okay, I've never seen a Sketch prototype actually. All right, Hunger Pangs. Sign in or sign up. So what is the first actual? All right, so it looks like this is if this is the first screen right here. It makes me wonder what exactly is this app about. I know it's about food, but what specifically about food is this? Is it a recipe app? I know you already told me it's a food delivery app, but what if I don't know that offhand? And the only thing I had to go off was this very initial screen. So you need to address that in some manner. You could do that through an icon, through a photograph, or directly telling them, which is probably the best bet, through ad copy or your like a sub headline right here. Just in a few words, summarize what this is. The fastest food delivery service or something like that. That's what I would do, because it kind of leaves you wanting to know more before you sign up. Sign in with email or sign up. That's confusing for your ad copy down here. Like, which am I supposed to click on? Sign up? This sign up button looks like it's useless. Get rid of it because you already has sign in with Google, Facebook, Instagram, and then email. That's all you need. Having a secondary, that makes no sense to me. Just looking at a couple of these. The labels are a little bit too far away from the actual text fields right here, so move those closer together. And then top recommended, top chefs around you, okay. View menu. A little heavy on the drop shadow side, so you might want to think about that, especially in this area over here, because you have drop shadows and borders mixed. So it's the borders are making it a little bit too cluttered. I'd get rid of the borders and maybe just use subtle backgrounds instead to separate these areas out here. All right, so pretty solid overall. Definitely some things you can improve. What do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I cannot wait to go back to the gym on Tuesday. Because that's when our gyms open up around here, finally. For me, I'm going to give this a rating here of... probably a 6 or a 5.9 or so. It looks like most of you are saying lower, so maybe I'm wrong. Thank you for the super chat. And that was the last actual super chat there. So let's go back here. Thank you, JVS, for helping out. Let's go. Oh, somebody did. Well, screw it. We'll go up here. All right, so we already did Killian Smith. All right, because it may take a few seconds to load, just scroll down and see the rest of the site, update it with the things you wanted, you said to do last stream. Okay. I'll do a couple more of these, and then I'm gonna head out. Let's see, maybe if people want to play tennis. I haven't played tennis yet. I want to play tennis. Damn it. Okay. An experience out of this world, web developer and designer. I'm not sure if you had that same ad copy when I looked at this before. That might be a bit much for the ad copy. Because when I think about an experience that's out of this world, I'm thinking about like taking a ride on like the largest roller coaster ever. I'm not sure if providing somebody with a design or a code is going to give them an experience out of this world. I'm not sure about that. So something to think about. Probably separate view work down a little bit further from this subheadline right here. Kind of boxy the way we're setting this up here. Also, these don't really connect quite well in the center, the actual checker pattern that you have here. What I would ultimately like to see is, well, no. You have an issue kind of like with scale, like email, like this whole form is really large. Like it doesn't need to be this large, especially in relation to like contact me. Like these seem like this checkerboard pattern that you're going with. It makes everything feel really boxy, and the contact me label is in relation to this form, but this is in a different container, so it's a little bit confusing with the way you've set that up. So I know you're trying to be like unique, but at the same time, it would definitely help, or as somebody I know, it would behoove you to perhaps stick to more standard conventions for the layout sections. All right, so what do you guys think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm gonna give it a like a 5.5 or so. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I gave it last time. Hopefully it didn't. I didn't give you worse just now, because I don't remember what it was that you improved. All right. Next up, Titus. Titus is a longtime mod in my Discord server. Okay. All right. So I remember he's been working on a I forget. It's like a recipe app, I think. All right, so metric imperial. What I would do for metric or imperial, just an idea I had on the top of my head, I was like, you know, some people are really simple, so like they won't know what you're talking about by imperial. So I would put maybe almost, yeah, secondary to like metric would be the thing that would stick out the most in imperial, and then maybe on top of it or beneath have like an example of what you're talking about in terms of like a unit of measurement, like ounces versus pounds, or you know, inches, centimeters, or something like that. Let's hit continue. All right, to create your own recipes and much more, sign up. So I think I like this illustration. But I think maybe it would be a little bit redundant to have it in two different places, two different screens. All right, so the sign up, this is pretty solid. Push sign up down a little bit further from skip in this button. It's a little bit up there, especially in relation to the fact that there's a lot of white space here, but hardly any up here. So just even that, just take that whole, you know, these three elements, push them down just a bit, center it in this available space here. Skip. I like this. I like this color. I like the use of this white search button. I definitely like that. Yeah, this is the best screen so far, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's definitely an improvement from what I recall last time. All right, good stuff. What do you think this person, Titus, should be getting a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Me, I'm gonna give it a I like it 7.8, I think. Right around there. I think that's pretty solid. Hopefully it's an improvement from last time. I can't remember exactly. All right, we'll end with Samnan. Usually we begin with Samnan because he, you know, submits every like at the very first time. This is also a 13 or a 14-year-old, or I forget how old he is. All right, so let's see here. What is this for? What am I signing up for? Yeah. Ow, I just hurt my neck doing that. Okay. Let's refresh. Was there? Okay. Let's see. All right, so you're using placeholder values. That's good. First name, last name, username. Let's hit continue. First name, password. Okay, that's confusing. Obviously, the labels aren't correct. Let's just hit sign up. There's some type of weird border, or like a black 1 pixel border here. That's kind of strange. Add photo. Let's use default. Looks like some sort of chat app, maybe. The color here, I hate how I can't like zoom up on this, but like the active or hovered base, like where it says Cassie, and you see that it's like highlighted, that doesn't match. I'd probably use this color right here or some variation, maybe make it darker than the background it's on. So we have friends here and then friends here. That quite doesn't make sense to me because it's repetitive. And then let's click that. So it looks like just basically this is a chat app. That's pretty solid though overall in terms of just pure UI design fundamentals. So yeah, not bad. I definitely like the very first screen right here. Like this is pretty solid. I would get rid of this line here. You don't need that border at all. All right, what do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I will give it a 7.1 in my opinion. All right, guys, that is going to be it. We've already been doing this for 1 hour and 2 minutes. And yeah, sorry if I wasn't able to get to your design. It's looking like as I'm getting, like the channel and this is getting a little bit more popular, most of my reviews are now based on super chats. And that's just how it is. I know somebody said I should go back and forth, but if somebody's paying me, I definitely want to keep them at the front of the queue and get those taken care of first, first and foremost. And plus, it does provide me with more incentive to do these anyhow. So yeah, quite, pretty good, overall for the most part, pretty good designs. Sometimes when I do this, there's a lot of people who are submitting like 3 or 4s in terms of quality and work, and I really didn't see much of that today, so that's definitely good. So anyhow, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow. It's been busy because of the birthing process and all that. But yeah, definitely a video, just a regular video on Tuesday at least. All right. So when's the next one? Jack asks. Well, I'm not sure. I don't do these every week usually, maybe every other week. Sometimes I'll do a few in a row. It all depends. So I can't answer when the next one will be for sure. For sure it will be within 2 weeks. Next, and usually I do these on Fridays, by the way. I just got thrown off because of the circumstances and all that stuff. So yeah, who messaged me? Okay. All right, so I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.